And that makes you 27?
27.
I almost never get 35.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Okay, Patrick. Man, this is just like a little questionnaire we have. It's just for us to stay on track because there are certain things you have to ask about these incidents. And that's all. I'm just going to be writing stuff down. So if you have any questions about this, just holler at me. Let me know. Okay. This is just something for me to follow along.
Okay.
What was the last grade you completed? Like high school, college?
High school.
High school? Okay. You got a diploma?
Yes.
All right. Let's see.
So before we do ask you any questions about the document he's filling out, you know, this is an investigation, you know. So before we ask you any questions, really talk to you, he is going to read you your Miranda rights. We do that with every officer involved shooting, just before we talk to you and get into the incident. So this is what this paperwork's about.
Okay. I'm gonna let you follow along with it. This is our sheet. I'm sure you'll have something similar in Houghton. I just put all your information up here at the top and today's time and date. And I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna read all the way down, and then they got 3 questions down here I'll ask you, and then I'll just have you sign at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna start right up here at the top.
All right.
Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court or other proceedings. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before questioning. You have the right to have a lawyer present during questioning. You have the right to a lawyer's advice in the presence of a lawyer, even if you cannot afford to hire one. In such case, a lawyer can be appointed to represent you. If you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You understand your rights, Mr. Edmonds?
Yes.
All right. Are you willing to answer questions at this time?
Yes.
All right. Has any threats or promises been made to you, or has any pressure of any kind been used to get you to answer questions or give up your rights?
No.
All right. I'm just going to have you sign right here on this one. This is just your name. It's just sign.
Okay.
And I got your date of birth. It was
1896.
1896. 6, and you're 27. Okay. For Houghton PD, what's your badge number?
658.
658?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your call sign on the radio?
Same thing.
The same thing. It's like a HP 658, is that how I do it? Or just 658?
That's 658, yeah.
Okay. All right, and at the Houghton Police Department, what's your current assignment?
Patrol.
Patrol. Okay. How long have you been on patrol at Houghton for?
3 months.
3 months? Okay. Is that how long you've been at the department? For Houghton Police? Or just roundabout, you don't have to give any exact.
Yeah, probably that.
Roundabout? Okay.
3 or 4 months. What is it, Mark?
Mark?
Yeah, it's been like 4 months now.
Okay. What are your normal duty hours?
They rotate. The shift I was on at the time was 6 to 6. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay. But y'all do rotate days and nights. Y'all do like a Monday to like a 12-hour rotation?
It's 12
y'all
hours.
Switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess your normal days off would be random per week, I guess, per pay period.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, shifts. Y'all do, every 2 weeks you come back to days? You work 2 weeks of days, 2 weeks of nights, or is it
1 month. It's month to
month?
month. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. On the date of incident, what were your duty hours?
6 a.m. No, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay. All right. And were you on duty at the time of this event?
I was coming into work.
You're coming into work? Okay.
I signed on kind of early. I
Okay.
get there kind of early. So yes.
And the event we're talking about, just so we're both clear, is on Saturday, the event with the pursuit that ended in a shooting. That's the event you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Have you worked any extra duty details, overtime shifts, or second jobs within 48 hours prior to the incident?
No.
And were you in uniform, plain clothes, or like a tactical wear?
I was in uniform.
Uniform. Okay. And that was uniform provided by Houghton Police Department?
Yes.
Okay. What equipment, less lethal options were you carrying on your duty belt at the time of the incident? Were you carrying mace, a baton, a taser, anything like that?
No.
You don't carry anything? Okay. Okay. The condition of your firearms, like as far as the magazines, how many magazines did you have? 3 magazines? Okay. Were they all filled completely, or
Yes.
were they, okay. And do you know how many's in each magazine?
17 or
17.
18.
So that was a Glock 17.
Yeah,
Nine
Gen
mil-
5.
nine
Yeah, 9
millimeter.
mil
Yeah.
Gen 5. Yeah. Should be 17 with one in the
17.
head.
So you top it off, you
I top
load
it
it,
off.
load
One
it
in.
around, take the magazine out, and okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
put another one in.
So you're filled. The vehicle that you're driving that day, was it a marked unit, an unmarked unit?
It's marked unit.
Marked? Okay. Can you describe your marked unit?
White. Says Houghton Police on it in black and blue letters.
Okay.
And light bar. And I doesn't have a light bar actually. The lights are on the cab of the vehicle.
Okay. Like on the inside of the windshield?
Yeah,
That's
all
where
the
your lights are on?
the windshield,
Okay.
yeah.
So you would describe it to be a fully marked police vehicle?
It's fully marked.
No question that it's a police vehicle?
No.
Okay. Did you have any occupants with you? Were you training anybody, or were you being trained?
No.
Okay. Alright. Did you have an in-car camera?
Yes.
Are they equipped with it?
Yeah. It comes on, the lights come on.
Okay. That's fine. During the events, did you have your emergency lights?
Yes.
And your siren, it works good too?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. And inside your police unit, does it have a radio provided by Houghton?
Yes.
You can talk to other police officers?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a computer, like a mobile data terminal inside
Yes.
of it? Okay. And you weren't working with a partner?
No.
Alright, were you carrying or using any other audio, video recording, either whether it was issued by the department or it was personal,
My body cam.
the body camera? Okay.
And was it utilized and activated to your knowledge?
No, it wasn't on. I activated it after when I got out my unit. When we get into the story, but when I got out my unit, I hit it, but I guess it didn't come on. But when I got to the front, after we checked on the suspect, and I saw that it wasn't on, I hit it and it came
back
on.
on.
So
Okay.
yeah. But my car camera, that was on from the time I hit my lights and sirens to the chase.
Okay. During the event, were you injured in any way?
No.
Nothing. Okay. Alright, do you have any specialties training, like mobile field force, or SWAT training, or crisis intervention, anything like that? Have you ever been to any specialized training?
No, not with y'all. With probably Army.
The Army?
Yeah.
What were you in the Army?
I'm an engineer,
Okay.
but I had to go through a couple classes as far as deploying. So yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay. Let me see. Okay, we'll just get into the incident. So, we just want to know, just in your own words, the events that happened that day from start to finish. If you were there for the domestic incident that occurred the day before?
Yes.
Okay, can we start there? And
Yeah, we can
just-
start there.
let's just go over, did you get a call from the police department? What was the nature of the call? Whenever you're there, kind of what happened, what did you observe? And then we'll just work our way through the next day.
Okay. So I say the call probably around 3 o'clock, maybe 2:30, for a domestic or disorderly person, one or the other. When I got there, he obviously wasn't there. Mr. Jason or Michael, whichever one they call him. But he wasn't there, but Georgia was there, which is the girlfriend.
Okay.
I saw her, she was crying, and she seemed drunk to me. I asked her where they drinking, she said yeah, so she seemed drunk to me, but she had a swollen lip, she had scratches on her neck, and so they called paramedics, they came out, they checked her, she refused to go with the paramedics. I continued to get her statement. He kept calling her, so she answered the phone, and he said, I'm going back to Texas, they're gonna have to come get me. I said, okay. And he hung up, and she hung up the phone. I told her just ignore his calls for now and get your statement, tell me what happened. She said, she gave a very, plain statement. She said, he beat me for 45 minutes. And I said, can you go into more detail, like what happened? She said, I asked him to leave once I found out that he was going to trial for beating a kid in Caddo. So he was going to trial, supposed to be going to court for child abuse. And she has 2 kids that are not his, so she wanted him to leave. She said she's been asking him to leave since the Thursday before, so the event happened Saturday, Friday, the Thursday before the event happened. She's been asking him to leave since then.
And this event you're talking about happened on a Friday?
This event happened on a Friday. Well, it was Saturday morning, technically. It was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So it was Saturday morning at 3 a.m. But she's been asking him to leave. He refused to leave. He left for, I guess, a few hours. He came back, and he said that they need to talk. So she said, okay, we can talk. They started drinking. She still wanted him to leave. I'm assuming he tried to talk his way back into the house. She asked him to leave. She said that he started beating her, punching her, slapping her, grabbed her on the neck, which I saw the neck marks. She had a few knots on her head, and I couldn't see the knots, obviously because she had hair, so it was kind of hard to see. But I gathered her statement, and she asked me to sit by her house because she didn't know if he was coming back. So I told her yes. So I sat by her elementary school, Houghton Elementary, which is right down the street from South Thurman, or North Thurman or South Thurman, whichever one she stays on. I sat by her house for at least 2 hours. And when the next officer came, I informed him, hey, this is what's going on. And I told him I'll write the report whenever I come back in the next day. So I informed him what's going on. I informed him to look out for this truck. He threatened her through text message, and I looked at the text message. The text message said, you're going to regret this night. It's not a threat. This is not a threat. This is a promise. Said, you're going to regret this night. And then he kept going on about her wanting black dudes. She only wants to mess with black dudes. I said, okay. And so I left it at that. I went home. I woke up the next morning, the next day, went to my day like normal. I was going to work. It was probably 5 o'clock. I was about to head into Houghton. I hear the chase over the radio. And Kenan is chasing Black GMC, which I know he's known to drive because I've dealt with Jason previously in January on a different incident. But I knew he was driving the Black GMC with Texas plates, with Texas tags, and that's what the truck that Kenan described. Also on the radio, he was saying that, hey, this guy has a warrant for domestic, and that's why I knew it was him because we were putting out a warrant for him. We were going to get one written up for him the next day. I left my house, cut up Airline, went all the way up Airline, went up to 80, made a right on 80, headed eastbound, all the way up to the big church, well, the raceway. I'll just put it right past Louisiana Downs. Kenan said they spiked his car. The sheriff's office spiked the suspect's car and his car. So
Kenan, who's Kenan?
Stephen Kenan is the HPD officer that was chasing him initially.
Okay.
So he was initially the start of the chase.
Okay.
And so you have a take-home unit?
I have a take-home unit, yes. So I ran license irons all the way to meet them where they were, basically. So when he got spiked, he had to get out of the chase, basically, and I took over. at the nick of time. I actually got there on time. So when I took over the chase, go ahead.
What part did you take over?
I took over at Raceway, basically at Raceway on 80.
Is it, okay.
So basically
by
right
the
there,
church
right
with
there
the
by the big
cross?
church with
Yeah.
the big cross. Yep, I took over literally right there. So Kenan dropped off, I took over.
And this
So
was
thi-
after the spikes.
This was after the spikes. After the spikes, he's rolling on 2 flat driver side tires. Both of them were flat. And eventually, probably when we get to Bipsy, his tires are completely gone. Like he's rolling on 2 rims all the way down to where we were. So I'm rolling all the way down. He blew through 3 intersections. He hit a car at Airline and 80. Some white SUV, I think. He hit the car and kept going. Bossier City's coming up from 80 going eastbound, about to meet us, so we're going just like this. He drives over into their lane when they're coming up. So he drives over into their lane. After they refuse, I guess they're playing chicken with him, you know what I mean? After they refused to move, he went back over, and that's when he flipped his truck. And after he flipped his truck, I hit my brakes. The Bossier Parish officer that was calling out my chase for me, he couldn't stop in time, I guess, and he went in front of the truck. So I hit my brakes, he went in front. So the truck's right here, Bossier Parish right here, I'm behind the truck. So when I got on my unit, hit my camera, I guess it didn't cut on, but I hit my camera, I stood by my door jamb at the front door and heard a fire, heard a shot. I don't know if it was from the Bossier Parish officer or it's from the dude inside the truck. Then I heard the Bossier Parish officer say, he's got an AR in there, he's got a gun in there. So I repositioned myself to the front of the truck and I look inside and I see that he is reaching for a gun. Looked like a rifle to me. So the Bossier Parish officer fired again, and I said, he's reaching again, he's reaching. So I fired. I don't know if the combustion from the Bossier City officer, I felt the combustion from a rifle or something behind my head. I don't know if the dude shot at me from inside the car or if the Bossier Parish officer shot his rifle behind my head, but I felt it.
Like the percussion of it?
The percussion from the round, I don't know if it was from the muzzle of the barrel or if he shot at me from inside the truck. But I repositioned myself and got back online after a little while. I tried to figure out what was going on. I got back online and realized it was a Bossier City officer behind me with an AR. So I figured it was him. So when I got back online, the suspect was still in there reaching. I could see him clear as day in there reaching for his rifle. So I told him, don't reach. And another officer, it was like 10 of us there. I don't know how many was there, but they were all, don't reach, put your hands up. He refused to do it. When he reached again, I opened fire, and 6 other officers opened fire on him as well. After I saw that he wasn't moving anymore, told everybody cease fire. I repositioned myself to stack up with 2 other officers on the top side of the truck, I guess, where the sunroof is. Me, a Bossier Parish officer, and Pilot, the Bossier City officer. We stacked up. There's a couple more officers stacked up to go to the windshield. We stacked up to go to the sunroof. We pulled the sunroof back. He was in there, laying there deceased. After that, after I saw that my camera went on, I hit my camera again. But other than that, nothing else that I can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to whenever you pretty much explained most everything.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go back to whenever you first got in the chase.
Okay.
Or whenever you left your house, you were going to the chase.
Yeah.
So whenever I guess you sign on or you get 10-8 from your house.
Yeah.
You sign on your computer, you're kind of in service, or you're heading to your area, wherever you're working that day.
Yeah.
whenever you were going to that area, is that whenever you heard that another Houghton police officer was in a car chase?
Yes.
That's whenever you heard it?
I can
Okay.
hear Kennan's voice, like his voice, saying that he's in a car chase. The dispatch didn't know. I guess they didn't know that he was in a chase, because they kept asking him, "Hey, what are you doing? Are you in a chase or what?" I said, and he said, "Yes, I'm in a chase." That's when I said, 6:58 on duty. I couldn't sign on the computer because I was driving to the chase. I didn't want to, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was 6:58. I'm on duty. Show me a route to the chase. So
Okay.
they kept calling out their direction, and I just followed to where I thought I could meet them, which is where I met them.
Mhm. And just by the description of the truck, did he say anything to you? This is the guy in reference to domestic last night, or did you just know the description
Yeah,
of the truck?
I knew the description of the truck, and he said that they were getting this guy has a felony warrant for domestic, or he has a warrant for domestic. We're about to put out on him. I heard him say it on the radio, so I'm assuming it was that dude.
Okay.
And I knew he was saying it's a black truck, takes plate, so I'm like, DMC that they're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. And then once you got in the chase, do you know who all was with you? You said there was a Bossier Parish.
There's a Bossier
deputy?
Parish officer behind me. I think I believe that was Sprinkler. That's his name, Sprinkler. Or, I forgot his first name. His name's Sprinkler. He's called dude.
And y'all are on the same radio, so you can call it out.
Yeah,
Y'all are all
he was-
going to the same dispatch,
Yep.
so that everybody's on the same page of what's
Yep.
going on.
Yep.
Was Bossier City on y'all's radio channel?
Bossier City was not on our radio channel. I think they relayed it once we got into, but once we hit probably 80 and 220.
Mhm.
They're like, "Hey, call Bossier." You know what I mean? Let them know we're coming into the city, and that's when all the Bossier police started showing up. But they didn't. I don't think they showed up. They didn't meet us until I think we got to Shogun, probably around Shogun area.
Okay, is that on?
That's 80 and probably Old
80
Minden.
at Old Minden?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a restaurant over
Yeah,
there.
it's a restaurant. It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm using like.
Okay,
references.
no,
I didn't
yeah.
know if y'all knew, but yeah.
So at no point did y'all have Bossier on y'all's channel? Like y'all and Houghton PD and Bossier Sheriff's Office had their own deal, and
Okay.
then I guess your dispatch was just relaying to the Bossier dispatch, the
Yep.
city, and then they had their own channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do I know if they can flip their radio to our channel? I don't know. They don't have the can and do that, but I don't know.
Okay. Whenever you were going through airline, and you said he hit a vehicle.
He hit a vehicle.
Okay. Do you know? Did you say it was a white?
It was a white or gray SUV. Can't remember too vividly, but he hit a SUV and he sent that thing spinning.
Okay.
Yeah, he hit it pretty hard and kept going.
Was he at one point? You said he was while y'all were going down 80. After he hit it, he was going against traffic.
Yeah, he was going against. He went against traffic multiple times. When he saw Bossier City coming down with the lights and sirens, he went straight to them,
Mhm.
like into their lane and went head on with them.
Okay.
And
Do you think he was trying to run them off the road?
I
or do
think
you
he was.
Okay.
I real deal think he was trying to run them off the road. Like he didn't care at all.
Approximately how fast do you think he was going?
When those two tires went off, he couldn't go over 80. So we were going probably 80
So in the city limits,
in the city. Yeah,
without,
we're
without
going,
having two tires on it?
without having two tires, he was going. We're going 80 miles an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at what point, do you know what caused him to crash out? Was it, did he hit another vehicle, or did he lose control? Did
He lost control. He went back after I guess he figured that Bossier wasn't moving,
Mhm.
or he tried to go around and maneuver through Bossier, thinking I was gonna go over there and try to maneuver through them. He realized that I wasn't doing that. I was gonna stay in his lane, and I guess he overcorrected. And after he overcorrected, those tires didn't catch, or the rims didn't catch, and he skid doing this, and then boom, he slid and hit against that telephone pole and that little sign in front of it.
Whenever the pursuit finally ended, what position was the truck in? Could you describe that? Like,
Flipped
was
on his passenger side,
Okay.
facing north. So
Okay, so-
basically, front end facing north, flipped on his passenger side.
The front end was facing the roadway.
Facing the roadway.
Facing the roadway,
Yeah.
and then and where were you at whenever he finally, where did you stop at? Like, what was your viewpoint from where you stopped at when he crashed?
I saw the bottom of his truck, where the oil pan and the drive shaft is.
Okay.
I saw the front two axles. That's it.
Okay, and then whenever you got out of the vehicle, you heard one shot. You didn't
I heard-
know if it was the police officer or the
Or the
person, the driver in the car?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was either one until he called out and said he had AR. So I don't know if he shot the AR or the gun at him, at the boat repairs officer. But I did hear one or two initial shots before I even walked over there. So
Okay. And then where did you move to where you could see inside the vehicle?
to the front, like the vehicle facing this way. This is the right way. I moved right here, but
Okay.
probably like 20 feet back, maybe a little bit more, and I could see directly and just
You
to
could
see
see
him.
And exactly. So whenever you first came around and you were looking inside, can you tell me what the driver was doing inside the
He was
vehicle?
reaching around. He was reaching. I saw what I thought was an AR or a rifle, and he was reaching for it, and they kept telling me, "Don't reach." And I don't know if he was trying to get up and position himself, but he was trying to get up, and he kept reaching. So they shot. Boom. And he reached again. Told him, "Put your hands up." He reached again. I shot. That's when I started shooting. That's when
Okay.
everybody else started shooting.
Could you? I know this sounds redundant.
Yeah.
But could you describe what an AR looks like? Like just in your own words.
It's a rifle style. I don't know if it had a scope on it or not, but it's a rifle style pistol grip. It's got a stock on it. It's probably 18 inches long, something like that. No, not 18 inches. What did I say, 2 foot, 3 foot long. I don't know. I don't know how long it is. The barrel is 18 inches or something like that. But it's a long gun.
It's very specific. So whenever you see one, you know.
I know exactly what it looks like.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see him at any point? And I know you were running around and there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Did you see him grab it and point it at officers, or was he still in the process trying to manipulate it?
He was trying to manipulate it. I didn't see him point it at the time. Now I didn't see him pointed at. If he pointed at the boat repairs officer, I don't know, because I was on the other side. I didn't see it, but he was trying to manipulate it when I got to the front and trying to grab it, and I was like, "No, I'm not gonna let him do that." You know what I mean? So
Do you know about how many times you might have fired your weapon?
I remember probably 9, but it was 14 times apparently what they told me. I remember probably 9 of those rounds, but they told me 14, so I'm assuming 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during the shooting, was there two separate type of I guess like volleys of fire or series of fire? Like I don't think it was all one big deal.
No.
Do you remember how many? Like was there a lull in fire at one point?
Yes, there was we stopped firing at one point, and we thought he was gonna stop. Apparently, I think everybody was thinking the same thing, like he's gonna stop. At least that was what I was thinking. I was like, okay, he's gonna stop, and he's gonna, but no, he kept trying to manipulate it, trying to grab it, trying to go to it. I'm like, so that's when we start firing again. That was the second initial round. But when I saw that he wasn't moving anymore, I was like, all right, everybody, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna stop firing. That's when pretty much everybody stopped firing when I stopped firing. I don't know if it was just a thing that we saw, but we kept telling people to cease fire and put their weapon, like lower their weapons, because we're about to try to go up. Initially, people were just standing there after the second initial fire, so I just made a move to go over and have people stack up so we can go see what's going on. And another group stacked up in front, headed to the windshield of the vehicle. We headed towards the sunroof.
Okay, so after the second volley of fire, the second series, whatever you want to call it, so y'all formed up on the side of the vehicle,
Yeah.
and then y'all started to, I guess, walk up and maybe attack away.
Yeah, tactical, yeah.
Okay, did you see him moving at all at that point?
No.
Okay, and you said somebody pulled back a sunroof?
Yes. I can't remember who pulled it back, but we pulled off the cover. You know how you can open the sunroof, but there's a black cover on the inside. We pulled that back. I guess the sunroof was already open, or it broke whenever he flipped.
Okay.
So we pulled that thing back, and he was in there.
Okay, what did you, like, whenever you looked inside of it initially, were you one of the first people to look inside of it?
No, I wasn't the first person to look inside, but I looked in after somebody else. I think that was Pilot that looked first. but I looked after him, so me and him kind of like stacked up and looked together.
Okay, was that a part of like y'all clearing the vehicle?
Just clearing the vehicle,
Okay.
yeah. I didn't look for the weapon. I just kind of looked and see if he was still moving. But he wasn't moving, so I backed off.
Okay, did you see a weapon inside the vehicle whenever you looked inside?
When I looked inside, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't look for it. When I looked inside, I didn't look for it. I'm not gonna lie about that. I didn't see it. I didn't look for it.
Were you mainly checking on him?
I was mainly checking on him to make sure is he still alive? If he's still alive, we do first aid. So if he's still alive, let's do first aid on him. But I didn't see him moving. You could just tell. I guess. I'm not a medical doctor, but I went there. So I just backed off and let the ambulance come in. So.
Okay. Very powerful.
Yeah, at what point did you know that the suspect had the firearm or the long gun? Was there ever mention of it during the radio traffic or during the pursuit, or was there any mention of a firearm?
There was a mention of it. They said he was known to carry weapons over the radio, and the Bossier Parish officer said it when he initially fired. Like I heard him say something about a weapon or a gun when I was stacked up on my door jamb.
But during the pursuit, there was no mention of he has a gun. It was just mentioned that he was possibly armed and dangerous. Yeah, like Okay,
he had one. He possibly had one.
But until that, he didn't, to your knowledge, he didn't point the gun at an officer or show the gun during the pursuit.
No.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, whenever, kind of going back to the, whenever you first arrived on scene, whenever he crashed out, and you walk around, you saw him manipulating it, what were you thinking at that time? I know you said initially you heard a shot, you didn't know if it came from him or it came from somebody else outside of it. So whenever you saw him manipulating the gun, what were you thinking?
I was thinking he was going to shoot us. Like, my life's in danger, and the other officers' lives are in danger, and the surrounding civilians. There was hundreds of civilians there. And he had a clear view on us, so I was like, hey, I can't let him shoot me or somebody else next to me. You know what I mean? I was definitely in fear, especially after that. I thought he shot at me initially, and I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? But I figured it was another city officer, but I thought he shot at me initially, but I guess he didn't. After that, he didn't shoot again, so I'm assuming that wasn't him. It was the city officer behind me.
Okay.
But yeah, I was definitely thinking that he was going to hurt someone. He was already driving erratically, driving recklessly, trying to run people off the road, wrecked a few cars. So I'm like, either he doesn't care about human life, and he's not going to care about mine, so I need to protect myself and my fellow officers as much as I can.
Okay. And at the time of the incident, you said, I guess you got in service, or you came to work at 8 or 5 in the afternoon, and then while you're going there, so maybe around the incident happened around between 5 and 5:30, where y'all had a pursuit and he crashed.
Yeah.
And so he crashed on US 80 and Benton Road. Is that a busy intersection at 5 o'clock or 5 to 5:30?
Extremely busy intersection at 5 o'clock. There was cars. They were probably to about that building, backed up from the light. I think the light was probably 100 yards, maybe away from the crash incident.
Okay.
So yeah, the lights were backed up.
And it was still daylight whenever this happened?
It was like dusk, so yeah, but it was still daylight. You could still see everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you saw the way he was driving, and then you said you heard the officer say something about a gun. So at the time that you chose to discharge to engage the suspect in the truck, did you feel like at that moment, you had any other options at that time?
Not at that time. Not any other options at that time. After he kept reaching for his weapon, I was like, okay, he's not listening to us. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can hear it, but we're screaming it, and there's multiple officers telling him, hey, don't reach, put your hands up.
Right.
Everything.
Okay. Do you remember giving any type of verbal commands after you got
Probably,
there? Or-
probably once or twice, but a lot of the other officers were speaking, so I didn't wanna.
Okay, and it was show me your hands. It was-
Show me your hands, you know, let me see your hands,
Okay.
put your hands up.
If the, asking a hypothetical, just if he would have crashed and the suspect would have complied with the verbal commands, however, putting his hands up and giving up, surrendering, what would have been, based on your training and experience, what would have been like y'all's protocol if he would have crashed and then complied with y'all's verbal commands? What would have?
With the surrounding agencies, I mean, we would have tactically walked up to the vehicle, asked him to get out. Somebody would have to keep an eye on him, obviously, because I can see a weapon, you know, there's a weapon in there. Somebody would have to keep an eye on him. We would have either removed him from the vehicle or had him step out from that sunroof and put him in handcuffs. And, you know, went from there, took him to jail.
But it didn't give you the opportunity to do that by manipulating the firearm?
There was no opportunity at all to do that. I don't think he was going to do that at all. From his demeanor and his driving, his willingness to get away from us, I think he had already made up his mind that he wasn't getting out. So
Where did the pursuit kick off at? Was it 80?
no. I think from what I understand, it kicked off at 157 on Highway 157 in the town of Halton. So probably 157 and Union, Texas, or something like that, somewhere around there. He's coming off of Sligo. They were hitting on his. We were waiting on him to come back, basically. And we were checking. I guess they were checking the LPR cameras. I wasn't on shift yet, so I don't know exactly. You had to ask him where it actually started. So, but this is just what I heard.
So from probably Sligo, where's that in Oakland, technically, the little town of it, somewhere. How far? You know, how far would that be from all the way right there to US 80, all the way to Benton Road? Would that be?
That's like 20. That's longer than that.
If you were
Like
driving
30 miles, or something like that. It might be longer than that.
Okay.
Like 30 miles.
So it's a ways. There.
It's a long ways, yeah.
Okay. And he was spiked at US 80 by the, I guess, Red Shooter Brookshires by the church.
I'm assuming yes. I didn't see the spikes. I didn't see when it happened. Right when I was about to take over the chase, that's when it happened. Like a little bit before that. So once they decided they couldn't drive anymore, once the Kennan said he couldn't drive anymore, that's when I took over.
So, in the police world, for a pursuit, to get a pursuit to stop, do police typically try to spike somebody as like a less lethal measure to get them to stop?
Yes.
And you say the other police officer got spiked, so he had to stop because I guess what the spikes were designed for to make people, you know, to deflate the tires. Okay. All right.
Just what you said, you had prior contact with the suspect in the past, but it was to an unrelated incident.
Yes.
Okay, but so that was your only prior contact with him.
That was my only prior contact with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
At what point? I know you said that Officer Kennan, I believe, said he was chasing a black GMC with Texas tags.
Yes.
And then you got involved around the raceway. At what point did you really confirm that, okay, this is the suspect from last night?
When he passed by, I could see his face. He has a beard, tattoos all over his face. You know what I mean? It's pretty clear who he is. So I saw him when he passed by me. That's when I hit the U-turn at the turnaround right there and just jumped in the chase, basically.
Okay. And was medical treatment summoned, or was called, EMS was called?
Yes.
Yes. Did you administer a first aid to the suspect?
No, I did not.
Okay. Do you know, did anybody administer first aid, or you just kind of?
Nobody, no officer did, no.
Okay, but when you looked at the suspect in the truck,
Yeah.
was there any clear indication that he needed immediate assistance or needed to provide aid?
Yes, it looked like he did.
Okay, but y'all called EMS and you said
Yes.
earlier that you're not a doctor, so you were just waiting for.
I was just waiting on him to get there, you know what I mean?
Okay. Just the last thing, I know Detective Anche asked, well, you were in a uniform. Was it like a patrol uniform? Just
Yeah.
kind of describe it. Black shirt, pants, belt, duty rig.
Oh, brown boots, green pants, gray shirt, vest, says police on the front, my name right here, says police on this side, and there's big police on the back.
A patch or anything on your shirts or
It
anything?
says Harden Police on the sleeves.
Sleeves. Okay.
Just like this, Harden Police on the sleeves and my name on my shirt.
Then duty rig with your gun and all.
Duty rig, gun, has my badge up here,
Okay.
yeah, on my vest.
Okay.
And the gun that you used during the incident was issued by Houghton Police?
Yes. Yes.
And you said it was a Glock 17?
Glock 17 Gen 5. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you think you want to explain better or tell us anything? I thought we covered it pretty well, but if there's anything you want to go over again, we can.
No, that should be it. That's my side. That's what I saw. That's what I observed. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sorry, just the last quick, before, I know I might have asked this already. He was known, the suspect was known to carry a firearm or something like that, you said?
Yes. From his, we looked at his criminal history when I dealt with him the first time, and from the domestic, I looked at both of them. It's known to carry firearms, all type of red urgent flags on it, and so I looked at all his charges and stuff, and had firearm possessions on it, and the child abuse thing was on there, and all that stuff was on there. So we just.
But during
Use caution.
the pursuit, and I'm being redundant, during the pursuit, it didn't say he's got a gun, we've seen a gun. That wasn't until the crash had occurred.
That wasn't until the crash happened. Yeah.
But y'all knew that he was known to carry a firearm.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Time now is, I'm sorry, do you have anything else you want to add or
Nah, that's
whatever? Okay.
Yeah.
Time now is 9:43 and it's going to be